I'm about to go on a fucking tear. Hello, hi, hello, hi. I'm about to fucking lose my goddamn mind. Okay, I'm starting the stream with this because I'm fucking annoyed and I'm fucking tired of seeing dog shit opinions like this coming from threads like these from individuals who don't know the fuck they're talking about. So, there is a back and forth going on between somebody that is trying to argue with fucking, the almighty Lolly. And the sheer fact of the matter is that this individual and people who are like him are probably the worst fucking thing to my goddamn mind when it comes to the shit that they choose to speak on. Don't know who the fuck they are, do not care to know, because seemingly it seems to be somebody who is a fucking annoying, literally has no fucking finger on the pulse of content creation type individual. Assuming that this is his work, it is. This is a literally who's fucking content creator that has 112 subs on YouTube, who's just giving opinions so uncritically that it actually makes my eyes cross. And I have to fucking unmute him so I can read this without being fucking confused by the goddamn mute system. Okay. So, this goes all the way back to York Torch Games choosing to make a fucking thread about should women be banned from game development. And of course, all the fucking Cole posters are here. And all the Cole posters are here because, realistically, this is a non-starter question. No, women should not be banned from game development, because if you ban women from game development, you lose people like Amy Hennig. Or you lose people like, forgetting the goddamn dev's name, Yoko and that assistant from, what is it, Tokyo Ghostwire? Where's her name? It is the Japanese writer that was behind this fucking game, that the entire internet had by storm, whose mind is slipping from me. Was it Yuzi Nakamura? No. Trying to fucking remember. It was the mimetic fucking Japanese woman whose name is slipping my fucking mind, which is annoying the piss out of me. Where is it? Name's not important. I just can't remember the goddamn person's name at this point. But you lose multiple fucking people if you fucking turn out and forget to include women, right? This is where it fucking starts. Moving from here, Lolly responds that women were in game development as far as back as the Atari 2600. And the problem isn't women in game development, it's cat ladies that want everybody, that need to hear everyone hear about their goddamn problems. And Aaron the author jumps in with the problem is not women, the problem is women, with you guys revealing a lot about your ignorance today. Then, they bring up Amy Hennig. Anyone half aware of gaming knows that there's female figures involved that legitimately built a legacy. This is where most of us jump in and try to get this across, because of course, you go up and you start looking at title figures such as these, title figures such as these, title figures such as Gen Press, title figures such as these, that are responsible for not only making the music, but making the video games possible. And ultimately, as this person points out, if we take the warp logic to its conclusion, where they claim black pillars, tribe pillars, and right-wing prigs are just as willing to retcon history as CW's wolves and left-wing prigs. Most people have been hard in the video games industry for decades, but now it's not enough to blame for bad actors, but also being DI cancer to be purged. If we take this warp logic to its conclusion, you remove female devs for the sins of rotten apples, remove male devs for the sin of weak men, remove anyone that has wrong thinking, replace and accepted arbiters, then you're left with people who believe that violence against video games costs the process. And of course, it went to the exact same space that I'm about to go to. But I'm about to fucking rail his ass for something that he's not even fucking talking about, Aaron the author. That rambling hits on here. Something entirely different than this. You're known different than the Indians and the Melanies, different politics and different strokes, but your prigs all the same, purging and purifying gaming until it's a husk, and then moving on to the next target. Which is the same thing I fucking talk about multiple times over, with fucking monetizing the goddamn industry down into a fucking husk, because it's full of fucking gaming locusts that are goddamn tourists that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. But this is where I jump in. Conversation then moves to Legacy of Kain. This individual tries to pop back with these words saying, explain how Uncharted made games better than. I'll wait. Which is a fucking nothing burger argument. Because it's not about how she made Uncharted. It's about how she made Uncharted, she made Legacy of Kain, she's responsible for the backbone of what was the soul of The Last of Us, and what made it narratively good. It is an example of every single fucking choice that had women involved in it. Like that of The Dark Project, where's my list? That then jumps to here, where it's not just that, it's Legacy of Kain, it's Eternal Darkness, it's God of War, it's Ico, it's Shadow of the Colossus, it's Thief, it's the entire generational field of all the Passion Play projects, it's Baldur's Gate, it's Baldur's Gate, it's Planetscape Torment, it's Blizzard as a company, it's Warcraft, it's Diablo, it's every single franchise in some shape or form, because it had a woman touching it. You might have had something like id Games being backed by mostly men, but the rest of the contemporary field, when it came to the narrative-based games, it came from women. You have this absolute goddamn jackass of a brain cell that has the audacity to make the argument that, you couldn't name any examples about how how Uncharted made games better. Therefore, it's a noteworthy solid game. All you could do was just ramble about autistic shit. This absolute troglodyte does not understand that it's not about the games that they made. It's about the people that were behind them. Message! It was about the people behind them that demonstrated that in this field full of garbage, like Directive 8020, all of the movie games that are being constantly filled and pollute the industry that they want to be a part of, constantly putting in video game voice actors in conglomerized roles from the VAs that probably made them in the first place as their originators, or choosing to go in a different direction and make an entirely new property, but instead of just getting something that fills the field by showing that you're still creating characters, and you're trying to do what was the mission statement of one Neil Druckmann, which is that I want to change what the women are, because I don't like what I see in the field, because I see these female characters that we're involving in the narratives as role models, which then gives you Metal Gear Solid, and Halo, and Dead or Alive. You have, between the narratives of fighting games, the narrative of movie games, the narrative of beat-em-ups, hack and slash, all of these are the same fucking problem, which is something that, for the purposes of its gameplay, has a story-based narrative that still has good gameplay. But rather than injecting in Hollywood and B-list garbage, you cannot replace them with this crap. It doesn't help. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't make anything better. And in choosing to act as though, because they couldn't give you a title about one cherry-picked example, that you're gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater, means that people like this can't be fucking trusted to have an opinion about what the fuck they're talking about. Because, as I read my own words, what you cannot do is act as injecting Hollywood or B-list actor VA's ink suits that are scanned into the game can replace the narrative connections and familiarity that then gives them that investment. Let me start over from the beginning. Uncharted as a franchise didn't make games better by existing. In alongside Eternal Darkness, Legacy of Kain, God of War, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, Thief, I could go on, Ratchet & Clank, Sly Cooper, Crash, Spyro, mascot games, collectathons, hack and slash, beat 'em up, Muyos, bullet hells. They all show the truth about lame movie games, that you can choose to make a story-based narrative and still have good gameplay to go alongside it. What you cannot do is act as though injecting Hollywood or B-list VA inksuit actors into the game replaces the narrative connection and the familiarity that is giving the investment to the characters, the writings, and the narrative. Games and franchises such as FNAF, especially in their Steel Wool era, where they have embraced voice acting, and they've also embraced new, non-contemporary, sit and survive standard as created by Scott Cawthon when he first designed his horror games. They literally show that people are not gauged and immersed with the trash philosophy that is in the middle of movie games, and they need something more to chew on. I ranted about this in the State of Play, that all these movie games were goddamn boring, because they were no goddamn gameplay, or very limited gameplay, put around set pieces, with no ability to tell me anything about the world that they're inside of, or give me the true ability to understand and explore the world that you want me to then give a shit about. This was best demonstrated from Blood Omen, and that, unlike the rest of its field, Blood Omen 1, especially compared to Blood Omen 2, does not achieve the same feel that the rest of the franchise did. It was always technically set pieces and puzzles, but you still had to learn about the world and about how to affect those circumstances for you to then understand what the story was trying to tell you. And you had to get to grasp with the philosophies and the concepts in order for you to truly not only understand the narrative, but for you to then appreciate the goddamn narrative. These games cannot do this in this market field. I continue reading. And averse with this trash philosophy, they need something to chew on that is like what the last era provided. Meanwhile, the entire field is full of video game movie garbage that has little to no gameplay that cannot compare to the genre that they are ultimately polluting. And this is probably the most important because the genre is competing against JRPGs. JRPGs, which can give you video game, they can give you gameplay, they can give you lore, they can give you story, they can give you fan service, and they do it all without having to literally pause to smoke to the camera with inside jokes that the company decides to make fun of, and wasting your time while doing so. At the same time, animated titles that get lost in the conversation, such as The Midnight Walk, which, despite the fact I don't have the technology to play it on, because this is going to be a VR game, and also I don't own the console which to play it on, this is probably one of the more innovative narrative games that, as a walking sim, actually gives you something to hold on to because it is doing something that most of them never do, which is stand out from the crowd. Games like this get lost in the fucking cracks. Like, quote. At the same time, innovative titles that get lost in the conversation, like Midnight Walk, get left in the cracks because we're so pattern reconditioned, not pattern recognition, pattern reconditioned, that we latch on to the former and spurn the latter, like the Midnight Walk, out of mouth-foaming outrage. Because we're not able to get shit onto the same fucking topic to understand what the fuck is important to discuss. We'll get to that in a moment, Mr. Gamer. It is so goddamn abhorrent that it happens every single fucking time, because every single person who wants to give an opinion about video games and wants to do some from the position where they don't want to take the responsibility of being a professional, but they also do want to take the position of claiming that they just are hobbies with passions, but then end up becoming posters, means that is why we are dealt with so much mouth-foaming outrage. In my case, right now, it's passion behind somebody being so fucking retarded that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And instead of actually listening to people and considering and actually thinking about what he's saying before he says it, and actually reading what people are saying, he demonstrates the reason why nobody talks about this shit at length. Because they don't want to talk about the nitty-gritty context that goes alongside of it to make it important. And they certainly don't know anything about what the people believe because they don't look at the philosophy. It's always a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, repeating the shit that people like me did the goddamn research for. But I'm not done. You cannot seriously be this retarded to speak on things that you do not know and are thinking about, to the point of thinking that Uncharted is the important detail and not the writer, Amy Hennig, who was jettisoned from her studio Naughty Dog by a tyrant usurper in the form of Neil Druckmann with the stated narrative goal of changing the industry by making women read female protagonists better, failing spectacularly! And then weaponizing legal warfare with a shell company to block opinions, conversation, and reviews. Not because of a review embargo, but to actively stop people from knowing about how he was doing background politics to oust her and finish ousting her to both silence the controversy, bury it within a gajillion games sold, and then finish removing her from the project and the studio, then claim it as his own. To then go on to the future where they would do something as stupid. Hopefully the tweet's still here. Where is it? Yes. To do something as stupid as trying to cheer on games. Or rather, talk about something and premiere and promote what is effectively the sheer death of the company. All of these video games, all of these characters, all of the effort, all of the work, all of the time that has been done to uplift and bring Naughty Dog to the standard that it is, but you don't even have the breadth or the time to put those games there. What's on the screen? Nothing but movie game characters. Granted, you've got Uncharted here, Intergalactic's here, characters from fucking, The Last of Us are here. But this is what you choose to remember it for? Not the people who got you there? Not the franchises that got you there? All of this is what was successful. Because niggas care about more about cult posting. They're actually caring about the video games as they exist. Or the industry as it exists. And someone who went to fucking school for it, and then spent time learning, and actually reading and consuming the actual words written by these people. Not only understand how to appreciate games better and then play them better, but then also understand how to make them better and become better at the part that I have to fill, which is delivering the voices and being able to bring the characters to life, as well as writing them. You cannot seriously be this retarded as to think that because they don't have an opinion on that, or that you don't want to listen to the opinion on that, that you think you know everything there is about it, and therefore his opinion is garbage, or should be ignored. When in fact, individuals who speak like this and act like this are the ones whose opinions should be fucking ignored. Because the company certainly doesn't fucking get it. Not anymore, if they ever did to begin with anyways. But of course, Naughty Dog is not the same company anymore. So that goes alongside of it. To finish reading, niggas like you disgust me. You should never open your mouth on these topics. Because you people are the tribe that eats this fucking garbage. Because this is going to carry over into what we learned the other night about Smash JT. And what Smash JT's been doing. Or rather, the lack of what he's been doing. But I wanted to open stream with this. Because it actually annoys the piss out of me. Because this is the reason why I choose to talk about the fucking news. And why I choose to fucking focus on the shit that I do. And why I do the research to talk about the shit that I'm interested in talking about. Because it's bad. It's really fucking bad. It's really fucking bad. It is extremely embarrassing that this is the level at what we, as a fucking passionate hobby base, have been reduced to. Because it's not the almighty lobby who's at responsibility and at fault for this. It's individuals like this who have no fucking understanding and have no basis of anything at fucking all. It is garbage. Read. They get called out on this. One of the most well-known and well-respected titles, but you want to focus on Uncharted. Okay, it brought back Naughty Dog from the brink and changed the idea of games as a cinematic storytelling device. She kept pushing us into games that are art. So you're happy that she made Uncharted into a playable movie with platforming design to have no challenge at all? Why are you happy about bringing in more tourists? This would also be the death of it. Because realistically, as much as we fucking hate tourists, you do need new people. But ironically, I sent something to this goddamn Edge yesterday because there were threads that were talking about things that had to do more with, how was it phrased? It had more to do with right here. It had more to do with the games and things like it, claiming that everyone's a noob at gaming when they start, and that your kindness can help improve the experience of those new that are in the gaming community. Help keep PlayStation the best place to play, to follow codes of conduct. But this had to do more with new players being confused with fucking stick-in-the-mud nooblets that are responsible for allowing tourists to behave the way that they do, which goes back to Ragebait Gaming from a week back, about how their content creates the bad footing for which the gamers have to work off of to work together to understand shit. This had more to do with compelled speech than it did this, but it goes in the same goddamn vein. Because individuals like Aaron are responsible for allowing this kind of culture to be pervasive in the industry, because they care more about trying to fight against what they perceive as tourists instead of the actual fucking tourist plant. Because Edwin, to my opinion, and to my understanding, as well as to my belief, with all evidence presented in front of me, especially with how they carry themselves and how they communicate, is exactly the kind of tourist that I do not fucking want playing video games. Because they're not hobbyists. They only remember the things that they were told in terms of subversion. Or they have no knowledge whatsoever, and they're just going off fucking vibes. People like this are fucking cancer. They are actually fucking cancer. And I can't stand it. Because the sad fact, the most annoying part of this, the most annoying part, is despite the amount of time that I took to write this and give just a sample of what is necessary to figure out the problem the right way around, to have the right context, to have the right information, to have the truth of what is there, the same way it had to be for discovering Sweet Baby Inc. and actually reading and listening to the minds of the subversives that are trying to change the very scene and space that you occupy. They're gonna ignore it. They're not gonna read it. They won't engage with it. Because it's the truth. They don't want the truth. They don't want the answer that helps them. They want to feel better. It's as poisonous as someone actually poisoning the well. No, I don't want an answer. I want to be mad. Man, fuck y'all. Y'all don't want to piss out of me. Holy shit. Anyways, boom, done. Got out of my system. Hello. Hi, Bolster. Hi, Saffronet. Hi, Gamer. Hi, Bolster again. It's a sad state of affairs. Gamers are mad at each other's throats now with the divide and conquer strategy. And they have filthy tourists throwing their smoke bombs in the haze to disrupt conversations even further. On the fucking money! On the money! No one's able to talk anymore. No one can communicate. Not about the shit that's important. Goth-fist people who have not a skin of blood, not a shred of anything in the game, want to offer individuals or enter the zeitgeist, believing they have all the answers to solve the goddamn issue. They don't know a goddamn thing they're talking about. Go sit up straight in your chair. They don't want scoliosis. Then you have a back, then you hump back like a white woman. Okay. TLDR for people who have no context to what I was just talking about. Because we're not live on Twitter right now. Probably won't be. Started very late, so we don't have all the time to discover shit. Have a long voice. Right. Now that I got that on my system, what is this about harmful opinions being exposed? What is harmful opinions being exposed for? Can you please give me a link, Mr. Gamer? Or point me in the direction of a link. no link, so I guess I have to look it up myself. What is the gay diddler being exposed for? I see nothing, 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 I see nothing. Let's try Google. I see nothing, I see nothing, I see nothing. Nope, I don't see anything about harmful opinions being exposed. Sorry, moving to the next topic. Dark Season guy exposing him? I don't know, Saffronet. I need a link in order to investigate it, because this is the first I'm hearing about him being exposed for something. I don't look into anything without a link. Unless somebody produces me a link, I'm going to consider it a nothing burger, and we're going to continue as I intended to. Which then brings me to what I was talking about in the middle of my rant. Which then brings me to this. Smash JT, bamboozled by Mick Dizzle exposing yellow journalism. Which happened to be something that was happening over the week. So, Smash JT decided to try to move a story on something involving Assassin's Creed Shadows. Claim, quote, exclusive Ubisoft Insider, Assassin's Creed Shadows delayed again. Exclusive AC Shadows delayed to May 2025. This claim is false, its source being a prank email that Smash JT fell for. None of this is reality, and I know that none of this is reality because I am the Reeker. See attached. I did this to demonstrate the bad faith reporting in video game news, especially around a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ethics in gaming journalism is important. Smash could have asked for proof, he could have messaged me on a different platform, he could have reached out to other sources, but he didn't. He did not verify any credentials as he indicated. The only communication is attached here. Anyone can send an email to info@smashjt.com, pretend to be anyone, and it becomes news. Smile winky face. This has been a trend, and I have more examples. In fact, his BioWare leaker reached out to me to say that they were just messing with him. Make your own bag of money, but don't expect bad reporting to not be called out. A way to avoid that is to do a better job. I don't know what this is supposed to be able to accomplish. Smash reported on something yesterday that is a totally credible story. Now it's invalid because you tricked him with a bogus email. Like, you want to hold people accountable, and then verify his reporting, and then call out fake stories. But you're the source of the fake story. So how are people supposed to sift through what is or isn't true now if there are people making up fake shit to get gotcha material? I explained above what it's meant to accomplish. To demonstrate the bad faith reporting in news. This wouldn't be a case example of bad faith reporting. This would be the case example of bad methodology of reporting. If you're going to say you're doing it to demonstrate ethics in games journalism, Kotaku in action signaled, then this is not about, quote, him having bad faith reporting. Because bad faith means that he knew that it was fake and he ran it. It's instead on naivete and lack of professionalism in gaming journalism. Because the ethics of reporting something that he has not confirmed would be one thing, but it's not that. The problem with Smash JT, as any person who watches my live streams have seen, from me going through his own videos and criticizing what he puts in his videos and how he chooses to communicate his information, is that the bad faith isn't the fact that, oh, I'm complaining that people are stealing my game news. People are just taking my scoops. Why are they stealing from me? Dead name, dead name, dead name, dead name, 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 slur, 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 mocking, 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 mocking. That's the problem with Smash JT. It's Dizzle's opinion. I'm not concerned with that. And for context, I'm not going at this because Dizzle happens to be one of the people that were being suggested by Sid. I'm speaking on it in the way in which this has appeared and how this story developed. And I'm covering it from the beginning to the end. Read further. He should check his sources and problem solved. Why do you defend a guy who runs with whatever someone tells him? I'm not defending him running a bogus story. But I'm pointing out that he also ran a legit story. So you're running a fake story in this instance, and him not verifying it doesn't negate that he reported on something real. how do you then expect people to go forward trusting or distrusting what Smash reports on? The problem here is that he claims that he verified the information himself, when in actuality he did not. The end goal, to answer Epic Mike's question on whether or not this is supposed to be the job of what he does, is the same as me. Single player Carl, how can you be able to have something like Balatro here on the screen while you're also listening to, giving context on, and also playing hands and matches while doing content? Because me keeping my hands busy so that I'm engaged in listening to what's being said, so I can pick up on the notes and details of a story, that is a content creator entertaining themselves while also doing their job, with the equivalent of what is solitaire. This has nothing to do with what I put here on this screen. What I'm currently doing here, as lively as I am, that's supposed to be my job. Telling you the details of what's important here in this, like in this story, and what you need to focus on. Directing your attention to what is important. The same that I just did with my opening fucking segment. Me ranting about that is the basis of my job. News, views, rants, reviews. Well, takes, news, views, rants, reviews. Opinions, takes, news, views, rants, reviews. It's hard to eliminate. It's hard to eliminate. So if I'm multitask, and I'm playing a video game while at the same time talking about something, no different than any other fucking content creator that chooses to use the Destiny model of talking about the content while also consuming content and playing content, which diminishes the content being played, not the content being spoken about, because people are there to listen to them. It's no different than Nicolas Diorio playing Fortnite while also talking about shit on camera, assuming that he's not just playing video game footage of him playing video games in the background while he talks about shit. Multitasking is not the crime of single-player Carl if he does not react harder to the news. It's single-player Carl not being able to give his opinion and effectively allowing content to play while he's monetizing it for free. To this edge, the problem is that Smash JT has gotten lazy. As I talked about, even complain and rant about, as I've said multiple times and will again multiple times in the future, the problem is the call posting. This is the problem. This is the end result of what happens when you call post, never-endingly. When you open your mouth, and you bitch and you whine and you moan, and you complain, this is what happens. This is the problem with call posting. And that is the problem with Smash JT, is he call posts. He doesn't produce things. He doesn't make things. He reads articles. He reads articles and then rehashes, doing the same effort that a crawler would do on a game website to effectively try to tell the same version of events, but with his own opinionated slant. And whereas the article written on the website does not show the same as the video actually reveals what he's doing. He is no different than Learning the Lawyer. He is no different than any of these fucking fan service accounts that call post without actually giving you enough of the information to know why you should be annoyed in the first place, that are doing the same thing as saying, jiggled physics for the win! At the very least, when the contemporaries in the field, like him, are doing the same, Vara Dark at least explains the story. She gives it to you with no frills. Does that mean that her opinion is not going to be in it? Of course not. She's going to have an opinion the same way that you can, the same way that I can, the same way that Smash can, the same way that Dizzle can, the same way that Sid can, the same way that any person who chooses to talk about it could. But in this game of the Showman video game opinions, at the very least, it is no fact. The same with a drama video that tells you about the drama and does not give you any of the call posting memes that have absolutely no impact on you because you don't understand the inside joke. They can tell you about what's the problem. The equivalent of this is, if there's a fire happening in the building, and you ask somebody what's going on, they can tell you there's a fire in the building, go to the next exit. And rather, hey yo bro, I have a story to tell you. See, the reason there's fire is because Patricia's mom was sucking Daniel's dick. I don't care. I want the fact, I want the story, no fucking fat, no frills. What is happening? Why is it important? If you can't tell me that, I don't care. That's the problem. Smash can't do this. Because he got caught on this, and because it was Jeff Tarza specifically that got caught on this. This, of course, made waves across the spectrum, reaching the likes of Legacy Killer HD and Upper Echelon. And so, waiting until it's official from people like this, brother, it was a fake. Someone baited him into false reporting because he didn't at all verify the source and just ran the story. Please read the above posts. Yep, 2 users burn themselves out over clout. People are always getting jealous when someone else gets big. And Michael being completely confused. Both AT and Drizzle have shown their information is not up to stuff, JT by posting unverified info, and Drizzle for creating it, while posting unverified info with his claims being about Bioware. Both are burned, all over jealousy. Dude, Drizzle just proved that JT doesn't verify the rumors and takes everything at face value, even when it comes from a random person. And it's evidence for the Bioware leaker that Drizzle is taking at face value, even if it comes from a random person. Also, Drizzle has shown that he will post misinformation to others. You think that's a good thing? I think that any person that does not understand that the problem is that Smash is not to be trusted, and thus you not getting the problem, which is you need to ensure that the content creators that you're choosing to get your information from, as I've always said, are doing so critically and not just repeating what you saw them say in a live stream uncritically, is the point. Ironically enough, the almighty Lolly had exactly this point. Granted, it was about John Del Raz, who is also still on a death spiral because everyone is now outing him as effectively a religious video game zealot who will do anything for his cause. Where is it? I have to scroll a bit. Right here. There is a reason why I keep saying to be skeptical of the loudest voices. Because that vitriol is coming from genuine insanity instead of heated passion. JDA does not believe a word he's saying, he has an agenda, and he will warp his persona to whatever necessary to get it done. In these examples that I'm providing you on camera, this is an example of how far Smash JT has gone with trying to get people to give him money. Doesn't matter if it's about his lawsuit, no matter how verifiable as a victim he's been made of being antagonized by Dave and by Alyssa. This is the other side of the coin. And of course, you know Alyssa had things to say about this. You're gonna take me a second to pull those up. 1 second. Wow. Okay. I have 3 tweets to go through. The last one I literally posted about last night, but I will go through this the easy way. Jesus fucking Christ, this woman's reposts are fucking annoying. Jesus fucking Christ. You're not saying what I'm saying, but basically her feed is just full of her constantly telling people what she wears when she sleeps and other shit like that, and cold posting in general. So. It might have been faster to go down my own feed to pull it up. Jesus fucking Christ. Please, Alyssa, stop posting your naked body on fucking Twitter. Holy fuck! I'm annoyed. There's another one. There's a good chance that she might have deleted it because I'm not seeing it. Okay, so let's start here. For fact and consideration, please understand that Airbag1 is the exact same account as Airbag, and Airbag is currently committing fan evasion on Twitter so that he can be able to build a career working off Alyssa Mercante and Alyssa Mercante platforms him. 1. You guys spent years crying that journalists aren't trustworthy, and then one of your own gets revealed as the grifter he is. Suddenly, ethics don't matter and don't count. They don't care about saving gaming, they only see dollar signs and rage bait and grifting content. Imagine being a supporter of this guy when he's saying this shit. That's the first one. The second one, scroll, stop posting your body, stop posting your body, stop posting your body, scroll, stop posting your body, 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 scroll, stop posting your body, 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 scroll. 2. A retweet of Mike from PA under his Central Committee account. Usually when you have a narcissist in your life, the best thing you can do is go greylock and no contact. Unfortunately, when you're an online content creator, they can hyperfixate by watching your content and creating a parasocial continuation of the relationship, with the obsession never ending. You can always tell someone facing internet harassment to not feed the trolls all you want, but when I publish a piece that gets dogpiled by gamergaters and they're following each other platforms and obsessing over my personal life, then what? They're feeding my sales pitch. To this, I'm going to say very explicitly and very simply, Alyssa, if you want them to not do this, specifically on the edge of this is why you have to make a lawsuit, you can't publish a piece of information without this shit clogging your mentions, might I suggest, girly, that you take the due diligence and the due time to not do something like what I'm about to show on screen. Understand that I did not go out of my way to find this information. All of this is easily findable and easily quotable information that can be found directly on Alyssa's own account. And by that I mean, it is literally here inside of her media page. I don't even have to look that hard for it. I'm disgusted for the fact that I have to fucking roll it. Maybe. Do not write posts about how you wear silk, thigh-high cut sleep shorts and you're always accidentally popping out lip or crack, so you don't know where you land on the scale, while also then saying that people are making fun of you for things that you're posting. Maybe, when you choose to go onto Twitter to post about your serious video game critiques, you also don't constantly incentivize people to look at you as something that is not a professional journalist by, posting yourself live on the timeline like this. Maybe kinda sorta. Maybe it's possible you can do it. I don't care that you post this, but the people who are gonna be highly critical of you, especially if they have no context for anything else, they're gonna see this and think, okay. But, back to my point. Third article, and third point, before I just go down my own post, because it seems that she's deleted it. If I'm not confusing it with a post that came from her Blue Sky. When you claim that the reason you had to follow a lawsuit is because you're getting posts that say, how are you relevant, calling you a loser, saying that you know that Overwatch is dead when they hire prostitutes who shill their game, which, Alyssa, that's really hard for them to argue that that's not the case when you're posting yourself in your boudoir. Why did you suck off those guys? Another shit like this. Maybe the reason why they have turned to Smash and are doing what they're doing is because the people who are supposed to be responsible for providing the part that they're supposed to focus on and lock into can't stay on topic and are constantly confused and or distracted by the shit they choose to go in on and demonstrate that they're fucking retarded, because that seems to be the case. But then, moreover, when we get to here, which is the post that I made last night, Lord have mercy. When we get to here, of the boats that I made last night, let's watch these, which was done in the middle of us watching The Substance, closer towards the end. Both of you, both Smash and you, are annoying as fuck. And in a perfect world, the both of you would face the music for your behavior. Where one of you is so hateful to the point of failing to do your job that the other will never get the clout that they want from the people that they want. But happens to be a simple, tied-in side segment that Horror tried to post. Which, to look at the pictures, read as follows. Smash JT. Effectively, reposting something that he got from, I'm assuming, her feed on Blue Sky. Read. Alyssa's post. A major reactionary that has been harassing and defaming me for nearly a year just got exposed for immediately running a story with an unverified source, and of course, this is what they do. In a just world, no one would pay attention to his yellow journalism and harassment campaigns. But the internet has a memory of a goldfish. Read. A left-wing lunatic has been harassing and defaming my business for nearly a year. Contacted my wife to harass her, attempting to disrupt our marriage, tried to get me banned from a convention, cheered on having my website taken down from a mass flag event, doxed me and my family, then used the information to, wrong order, Smash, tried to cheer on having my website taken down from a mass flag event by her peers, tried to sue me in a fake lawsuit, to then further dox me and my family, and then make money from covering the events she caused. All because I covered video game industry news. But sure, let's talk about yellow journalism while your unhinged hypocrisy continues to run wild. Keep crying, drop the lawsuit, you absolute tard. In a just world, you'd be in an asylum. This coming from her being super fucking mad that Hassan Piker would not platform her on his live streams. Which, oh my god, I can't believe she's still there. But she's still there. All of that to then say this. In a just world, and you can quote me on this shit, you can act this directly at his account. In a just world, Alyssa Mercante is not taken seriously by the cottage tour industry, and they see her for what she is. A hanger-on that wants the prestige, but wants to do none of the serious work. Because, to her credit, there is an example of Alyssa explaining what she does and what is actually necessary to do the research that goes into reports and the sources that she uses for her work. Examples meaning that in journalistic integrity means waiting to run a story until you have exhausted every avenue and corroborated every detail. Sexualized abuse at video games and Comic-Con conventions. 11 sources, 22 external links, 2 months of research. Sweet baby piece. 5 primary sources, 12 external links. Actively having the people from the industry tell you what your talking points are. And then getting anecdotes from inside the SBA Detective Discord, which were also being manipulated by journalists trying to get the talking points they wanted. And of course, the people in question are not understanding they shouldn't be talking to journalists. Industry bets on ageism in gaming. 4 primary sources with data from the IGDA. A report on war games, still aggressively portraying the Middle East. 5 primary sources, emails to GGA going unanswered, 28 external links, supporting information with 1.5 months of research. A report on the persistence of toxic voice chats in video games, 8 primary sources, 6 external links, and 1 month of research with a lifetime of being a woman who plays online games. In a just world, the two of you would never have the ability to ever talk seriously on anything either of you choose to talk about, ever. Because when Smash started getting a roll going, it had to be off the back of him and Gorillaz Rambo being platformed by mutuals and contemporaries in the field. Whether or not they are friendly with them to the point that they platform them for this reason, or they're actually able to talk about something at length when focused on for these reasons, people like Smash JT and Gorillaz Rambo and others like him, just like their followers, cannot be able to tell me a damn thing that I don't already know myself. Because unlike them, I do the work. I do the research. I find out. I will investigate and go down as many rabbit holes as possible to bring back as many inane details as possible. Not just because, I would like to go down an autism research pothole for today and play video games while also learning about this thing that I'm talking about. I do so that when it comes time for us to talk about the reasons why we do not listen to certain sources and resources and give examples and details and points of why, It is for this reason alone. In a just world, Smash JT would have been sued for his bad yellow journalism, and then banned off of YouTube for constantly trying to put himself in the middle of news stories. You, Alyssa, especially for the shit that you're actively doing on the timeline, like posting your fucking body while claiming to be a culture writer who's supposed to be taken as a serious games professional, would both have to ask the real question. And the real question is, are you a hobby journalist, or are you an actual affiliated games news journalist? Because if so, ethics in gaming means that both of you get deplatformed because of your own actions. The two of you, and Grums goes alongside this, the three of you, technically also include Dave, who's still committing ban evasion, the four of you, and others that act like you, would not be listened to. Because both of you are annoying, and both of you would face the music. I'm so sorry, Alyssa, that Hassan Piker doesn't want to platform you. I'm so sorry. That must really suck. I understand it, since I come from Twitch culture. I understand that it's annoying to be snuffed in such a way where you believe that you want to work with somebody. But unfortunately, you shouldn't want to work with Hassan, because Hassan represents all the things that you don't support. He is, unironically, the kind of grifter that Smash GT is really revealing himself to be when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of focusing on shit. Because no, you cannot stop them from making content about you. And you cannot stop them from talking about you. But you can stop looking. And you can stop caring. You can make it a banned phrase in your chat rooms. You can stop bringing it up on live streams. You can stop hyper-focusing. And you can also realize there's no reason to take him to court for, quote, defamation. Because, hey, you know what's also a part of Discovery? Those pictures that I just had to demonstrate, showing on air. You posting yourself naked and talking about what you go to bed wearing with your boyfriend? You don't need a post while being a culture writer for video games. I don't care, and I also should know! As an independent, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But if you want to work for a company, and you want a professionalism standard to be applied to you, you kind of have to, not post that. On the other side of the issue, Smash, if you can't do the goddamn work, and you're getting mobbed by somebody with at least less viewer resources when you go live, because you've chosen to go the route of being a grifter, if you can't do the work that a passionate hobbyist turned professional player can do, then you don't have the room in which to speak whatsoever anyways. And you should be embarrassed that this is what you've become. Shame should stop the both of you from doing what you're doing. But it clearly doesn't. So who cares? The both of you can leave. The both of you can leave. Because what is the point of having you around? What are you doing? What is the goal of what you're doing? Do you want gaming to be this? Do you want the industry to be this? Constantly? I don't! Okay. Alright. Lord have mercy. People frustrate the piss out of me when they decide to act like fucking retards. Anybody have any opinion about what I just said before we move on? I'm hammering things out right now. It would not be so goddamn annoying if they weren't so fucking annoying. But unfortunately, they're so fucking annoying. Every single person who is involved in these stories, all of them, every single fucking time, it's the same shit. Same shit. Same shit. Every time. We can never leave. We can never get out of the building. Raw. It's just sad that it keeps getting worse. We're truly getting fisted by our own sides. It's embarrassing. I would say People like John Del Raz, people like JF Trent, people like Moaning Mac, people like Smash JT. I would say maybe less Commutus Rambo, since he's actually decided to put the fucking sword down and stop doing this campaign shit. I would say that it's less about being betrayed by our own side, and instead being betrayed by people who never had a side to begin with in the first place. You're annoyed that Renault got killed, but you're earnest. It's okay. We've all been there. We've all failed riposte in DD1 or DD2. And we've all watched our highwayman get fucking killed because he dropped his damage and missed his crit. When it comes down to it, ultimately, I am the phrase inside of Kanye West's classic. Does anybody make real shit anymore? That's me. That's where I am on these news stories. Every time I see another example of a goddamn journalist, and a video games hobbyist trying to play at professionalism, really wanting to believe that they are Katie Couric and Walter Cronkite and Barbara Walters, or fucking Vance Jones, or Don Lemon, what are we talking about? You're on the back end of me covering Smash JT, Alyssa Mercante, off the back of an even bigger rant at the beginning of the stream. I can't consoleize for you. I'm still in my shit. I'm actually surprised you showed up later. Anyways, I continue with my sentence. I'm so far gone and done with having to constantly see the same shit happen over and over again. I was cleaning. It's understandable. You ain't gotta explain yourself to me. You're fine. I'm tired of seeing Smash JT and Alyssa Mercante and Mark Kern and Dave, her fucking butt buddy, and all of these influencers that at best are conceited hobbyists actively play at journalist, and then constantly be wishy-washy, where they're not able to show me and talk to me or show anyone anything about real shit, making it seem as though their constant back and forth shit-flinging contests are real journalism and real content creation. Because ultimately, to revise the question, what is the point of all of this? What is the point of McDizzle exposing and tricking Smash JT? And what is the point of Alyssa choosing the cold post alongside of it? Is that, yes, your content creators need to actually do research. But alongside your content creators doing research, you need your content creators to actually have a fucking planned focus and goal with their work. Because cold posting about the news is obviously not enough. You have to still make shit. You still have to create. And if you can't fucking create, shut up or die. Like, shut up and die. Get out of the way. You're not useful for anybody. I would not be so cantankerous in the past to say, shut up and die. I would say, shut up and get out of the way. But no, actually it has to die. Not the people, but the shit that they make and the way that they're making it. It has to stop. It's the reason why internet blood sports had to stop. It was not just enough that you had to have funny, quippy back and forths on camera between other people. Real vitriol, real unironic, deadly vitriol is what we're seeing now. And I don't want to see it no more. None of us do. Because their fucking slap fights are going to get people like me and you fucked up. Because they fucking up for everybody. Ugh. Stories are full of the worst people you know. The stories are full of the worst people you know. Actively ruining the space in the scene in which they all want to try and have a foothold inside of. But not a single one of them does anything but poison the place where they are. Not just the well, not just the ideas, not just the minds of people, but they're actively salting the earth. And they're dragging it all into everyone else's homes. And trying to constantly call for an incentivized push to decide whose side are you on. As they march into my home, I say I'm on neither side. Because I do not give air and attention to people who would seek to poison me and my brethren. Because amongst our video game brothers and sisters, whom which do not want to deal with the constant coal posting, it effectively makes all of us that choose not to take the side of one grifter or one attention-seeking jackass or another into NIMBYs. Because, as Balster just said, it makes all of us have to say, get the fuck off my lawn. And yet, in the zeitgeist that is the cultural conversation, it becomes important for us to actually report that it's happening. Because more people need to see the reasons why they are not to be trusted. So, if I were to say to someone, Smash JT, what a fucking loser, and they're the biggest Smash JT stan, I have to explain to them why I would say, ugh, Smash JT, what a fucking loser. And I will, every time. The same way that I can for Airbag, the same way I can for Mark Kern, the same way I can for Alyssa McContie, the same way I can for any person. But it's not enough. It is not enough. It's not just enough to say, ugh, what a loser. I also have to demonstrate how their constant back and forth destruction destroys the things that they claim that they care for. So then, when something comes to an end, and they say, but I was told by Smash JT we were saving gaming, I become that one woman in that one movie quote. I forget from what movie it is, but it's like, oh, you stupid slut, there is never gonna be a boat. Because that's what it amounts to. In journalism, from the position of being a hobbyist, which would be the basis of accounts and posts and YouTubers like RageBait Gaming, or rather, Rage Video Game Tutorials, the video game guru content that wants to tell you the best way in which you should enter into a video game, the best way to play it. Shit like this, while annoying, ultimately comes down to your mileage may vary. The people inside the scene might not like the way you do it, which is what the PoE2 community and the Path of Exile player base demonstrated and voiced when it came to calling him and his friends and his channel out on their slop content. Because ironically enough, it all goes back to slop content creation. While we can choose to have opinions to talk about slop content and how we do or do not want that to poison this beginning experience of those gamers, we also live in a contemporary field of censorship. Because you want to not have your work be censored, but you also want to censor someone else's. Because you believe that their communication is not useful and congruent in the direction in which you are trying to establish a goal. When we're talking about video games, and we're talking about just playing them, when Alyssa decides to throw in the back of her, here's how I do my research, and say, my example is that I had a lifetime of being a woman playing video games online with the persistency of toxic video game chats. If that's the level in which we're talking about communication going, just turn the fucking microphone chat off. Turn the TV off. Turn off the influx of the information and control your own variables. You see bad information? Call out the bad information. Remove yourself from it. Don't consume it. And don't be a part of it. Done. When we start talking about influencers that actively change the culture, when it first started, the hatred of the very thing that they claim they want to be a part of, It was Aaron Hansen being an ambassador for Sega and actively ruining the opinion of Sega while also being used as an example of an influencer that, quote, made it big. Then it became Crowdcat and the never-ending conversations around video games that people could not understand had a deeper meaning that they just weren't getting because their brain was too chum-like. Then it was Video Game Donkey, actively shitting on video games that he hates because the control scheme for the games are things that he considers to be barbaric and Neanderthal, behind the times that need to be updated to bring it to a new audience. But because of his political slant and his choice to focus on that political slant, just like with political cartoonists, or cartoonists that weren't political before they randomly became political, like Doofus Goobus, constantly changing the zeitgeist of the conversation, because instead of focusing on what was actually important, they decided to instead signal boost and then also lightning rod signal post to their audience to go along with the political opinion that was best politically expedient and financially lucrative for them to repeat constantly as a thought cliche and a thought determinating talking point that never actually considered the problem being described and was always a thought-terminating cliche upon which you didn't have to put any more thought into it. If somebody fought against them, they were a chud and they were to be ignored. But now we're at the point where we're talking about the journalistic integrity of the effort, the integrity that none of them show, where they're using it as a flimsy excuse to basically throw shit at the wall in all of our houses. And if we tell them, nigga, I don't want this here, they then complain saying, what? Are you one of the bad ones? And when I do the consistency of I'm mad as hell and I can't take it anymore, people like myself being called crazy, when actually, any fucking person worth their salt can clearly see this shit has gone on way too far. It is not a joke. It is not interesting. It is not funny. And the fact that it has nothing to do with games, it has everything to do with influencer egos, making it clear that the only answer we have left is to literally turn and burn. Salt the earth, remove ourselves entirely from the equation, build back better again with a parallel society, gatekeep it better this time, and when these people come to invade it again and take it back and they die off and they now try to move to the new world to try and get a foothold, we tell them no, fuck off, go back to the goddamn degradation that you made because you didn't care about it when you were destroying it, and now that you have nothing to escape to, you take accountability for your goddamn actions and think about what you've done. And sit in the ruins that you made. It's so irritating. Is it so irritating to the point... Don't drop it, Carl. Is it so irritating to the point where I would be screaming slurs at the top of my lungs? Sometimes. Sometimes. Because, of course, for Alyssa's actions, that's what lost her job at Kotaku. Ironically enough, this bitch ass decided to try and make his fucking reply to my goddamn work, and he did not read it. Annoying. 1 second. was I? Oh, yeah. Alyssa lost her job because the constant posting of her own body and then being unable to deal with the fact that her shit and her choice of posting of shit led to her losing her job, not Smash JT. Smash JT, just like for all of us talking about John Del Roz and his furry fetish getting picked up by Dan Ravadra, is the exact same reaction, and thus is not the fault of gamers, is not the fault of grifters, but is the fault of her putting out information that she should not post on the fucking internet. Because she don't need to post her fucking midnight underwear set for people to look at. Smash JT, choosing to become a cold poster that would antagonize trans people and able-bodied people and hobbyists that have more skin in the game than he does. Because skin here means more than just money. It actually means time and participation. When they have more skin in the game than him, he tries to put his name over theirs, saying, I'm what people want. I'm real gaming, and then demonstrating that he can't even do the job of a games journalist. Also embarrassing. Mark Kern doing the same shit, but doing from the angle of, I'm a real dev. I'm not like these people. But he talks more than he does produce content. Therefore, he, as well as her, as well as him, as well as Dave, being her butt buddy, doing nothing but adding to the fucking noise of the conversation. All of them being able to create, shut up, get out of the way, or let other people do the work. They're all fucking cancer. They're all cancer. And it all has to be excised. And has to be done so with quick haste, extreme outrage, and immediate precision. Because the only way to get it done is like that. It's annoying. It's annoying. It's so fucking annoying. I don't want it. I don't want it in my yard. I don't want it in my lawn. I don't want it in my fucking area. I don't want it in my space. But unfortunately, I'm not going to just simply throw them into the darkness and then forget about it. You have to deal with it. Up front. Every time. So it makes it irritating and annoying to have to cover. But it has to be covered. Because if I don't do the job, who will? Because I get on the ass. Somebody got to do it. Moving forward. All the people I hate are being annoying. Welcome back, Bellatrix. What was the next story that I was going to cover after this? Ah, yes. Just a robot. Just a robot, just a robot. Because technically this is all of the things that horror wanted to bring me. I didn't hit them all in the order, which people would have thought. But hey, it is what it is. Anyways. Let's go over these. So, Just a Robot's first ever DMs with Molly are perfect riz. Ha 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 ha. Are you who I think you are? The YouTuber? The YouTuber. Pfft, that sounds ominous. Yeah, but it's Mally Malware. Sorry for the out-of-blue friend request. I was going to ask a question about some old drama with the joy of hindsight, but ended up changing my mind and getting out of my system, so I didn't say anything at all. Kay wanted to voice chat. I'm about to go to bed, but my thoughts are very dark before I go to bed. Talking to new people makes me happier. You can say no. My evil, sick, and twisted fantasy, the thoughts that I have in my mind are so dark, it would break people's minds, and it's just a fucking evil face with fucking razor teeth. Took me a bit off guard there, not gonna lie. I'm working at the moment, so it's just poor timing due to time zones, but are you okay, man? Dark thoughts and all. I passed out after sending that last one. Sun is up, I'm happy now. When would you like to voice chat? Well, I'm in town right now, so that's off the table. But I'm not sure what we talk about in the VC. Is that just your preferred chatting method or something? I get misstated over text a lot, but I also just really want to talk to you. With periods. And punctuation. He's being so forward. Fair enough. Personally, I'm a bit of a social wreck, so VC spooks me a little. Not opposed to chatting to you, it just feels like a pretty hefty leap for a first conversation. Would you be comfortable chatting on a public Discord or something being with an said? Sure, we can do that. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. But I remember the good old days when people used to use voices to talk. I'm not very good at reading or spelling. I'm more of a math guy. I came to learn that no one really knows anyone. We're all animals pretending to be something more. We do things no one else, we do things no other anime. Am I reading that right? We are all animals pretending we are something more. We do things no other anime has done before. What the fuck is wrong with you, Jay? Oh my god! Do things no other animal has done before? Question mark? Let's keep going. We create things that make us happy and for life to be better. But I feel that we are not meant to do what we are doing. Question mark? What is the right thing to do? We do not know, but we act like we do. And I'm trying to do the right thing. We hurt people. Is there any confirmation about Jar being fatherless? Get him. His dark thoughts were mostly guilt over the Pieces drama. Oop. Y'all niggas need to eat graham crackers. Y'all fucking social gooners like Jar. You need to eat graham crackers, bro. How many times is this? Is this the fourth time? The fourth time in total where Jar is just in someone's fucking DMs? Trying to fucking talk to them like, it's before a bad time. I'm cut it up. I got sumption on my dick. I got lotion on my dick. 8? That's 8 times too many! That's 8 times too many. I would understand if it was a failed love connection and then they added your DMs to be a social creep to try and embarrass you, because we live in a day and age where people get that, where you just do this all the time with both men and women, and it would be strange and weird, or that you're eccentric and you just want to talk to people on voice chats because you don't like people taking your texts out of context, at which point then you would just use voice notes. The fuck? But, you know, he also uses voice notes, and he leaves creepy as fuck voice notes. But bro, you cannot be trying to have a fucking private conversation with every fucking woman in a fucking DM before your bedtime with like the fucking lotion on your dick clip. You can't do that, man. Like, that's fucking weird, man. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. And it keeps happening. It just keeps fucking happening. It's so fucking obnoxious. It's so disgusting and dirty, and it makes me feel fucking creeped out, man. Like, it'd be one thing if you were like, you were feeling them, and they were feeling you, and they went back and forth with each other, and it was whatever. That'd be one thing entirely. But unfortunately, that is not what's going on here. That is not ever what's going on. Please, stop trying to risk women in their DMs. Stop it. It's not okay. It's not fucking okay. Sorry for starting later than I normally would, guys. I needed to do housework. And now I'm going to need to go off air and go cook dinner. But if anybody has something they wanted to let me know about before I leave, please feel free to do so. See, me personally, Horror, I don't think he has a girlfriend. I think he says that if his girlfriend allows him to get away with doing this and she has nothing to say about him trying to have private conversations with other women on the internet, she needs to put a fucking foot down and or put it in his ass. Like, I hate the fact that this is the shit that we have to deal with, but you know what? I'm here. I'm here to read for it. Bullet point news is probably not my best fucking suit when I'm really fucking fired up on an issue which I care passionately about, especially when it comes to fucking the way that people choose to communicate about information and how they report shit. But oh my goddamn, oh god, man. Alright, you gonna go watch the 9-hour Kumu doc? No problem. I'll be live later at some point. If I'm not playing Avowed or not playing something else, I'll probably be setting up what I'm going to do for the Legacy of Farisha event. That's coming in 3 days, and then after that, 8 days later is my timer before we get into Monster Hunter Wilds. My key has been bought. It's just a matter of waiting for the game to release so I can then input my key and then getting and touching bases with the thumbnail artist, and then we're ready to go. I'll see y'all in like an hour or two. GG, Nori. Easy. Oh.